Alexander, Ukraine's government is claiming it's liberated 130 square kilometers of territory since the start of its counteroffensive. Do you see this as significant progress for Ukraine in the war?
I think it's very underwhelming to say the least, particularly compared with the expectations from much doubted this counteroffensive, which was supposed to break through the Russian lines and uh, to the Sea of Azov, isolate Crimea, kind of rout Russian troops, and kind of be a decisive battle, all decided within first 96 hours, as many Western and Ukrainian analysts were writing. And now we have 3 weeks of it. Hundreds of much coveted Western equipment lost, thousands of people died, and all they done is just haven't even reached the first line of defense in Russia. They're just still fighting for some outlying villages, which not even the first line of defense. So yeah, the defense so far has been undergoing. If it continues like this, there will be there. I think some estimates were another 16 years to liberate all the six territory if they're going at this rate.
Goodness. So you say the progress is underwhelming, and given all that, it certainly sounds like it. How difficult of a task must it be for Ukraine, not just to hold Russian forces at bay, but to actually retake territory?
Well, I think we talk now a lot about Russian minefields and defenses, which been there for months, and Russians been preparing it for months, exactly on the areas around the Zaporozhye front where Ukraine is attacking now. So I'm not sure why this comes as a surprise to Ukrainians and the Western analysts that there is actual resistance. I think the fundamental problem with Ukrainian offensive was that the expectations of how Russians would behave were based on one episode in the war, the Kharkiv offensive, where within 3 days they liberated a lot of territory because simply there were not troops, and those troops that they were very quickly pulled back. So the expectations was that the Russians, as soon as the Ukrainians start attacking force, Russians would just run away. And when it didn't happen, they start scratching their heads and thinking what went wrong. So I think that was the problem. That there's no there's no sudden shock to Russian troops. They're attacking exactly where they were expecting them to attack. They were well prepared for it, and Ukrainians seem to be least prepared for it than the Russians themselves.
All right, Alexander Titov in Belfast, thank you.